Alright, crew quarters. So Miranda's here, not a whole lot else. There's life support, can't go there. Port observation, can't go there. Weird number of places you can't go, actually. Men's restroom, haha.
Shepard, the women's restroom is on the starboard side of the ship.
Tell it to HR. Tell it to HR. It is weird how many places are locked off from you, but basically you need to unlock whatever party member hangs out in that room in order to gain access to that room. It's weird. It fits the structure of the game, but it's weird. It's weird to not have access to your own ship. Here's general crew quarters.
How old?
She'll be a year old next month.
Oh, you'll miss her first birthday.
Well, my family lives in New Canton.
Oh, that colony's on the edge of the frontier. Could be vulnerable to collector attack, couldn't it?
Exactly. It's most important that she have a first birthday. That's why I'm here.
And we have a constant reminder of how huge this core is. As we slowly go down from floor to floor, we see it from different perspectives through our windows. That's the thing that makes this whole ship work, to make the what we do in the mission possible, where we're jumping around the galaxy all willy-nilly. So that used to be Commander Shepard's. Oops.
Come on, Rupert.
I'm sorry, Princess. Filet mignon and caviar coming right up. Let me just get out my doilies.
That'd be real nice, Mr. Gardner.
So this is a bit of a shift. So that's where Kaiden used to hang out. Instead of being a weird corner of the map, it's now the kitchen. Which makes sense, because that was always where the tables were. The only tables in the entire ship, as far as I could tell originally. That back door is very locked, so we'll just save ourselves the trip. That used to be yeah, now it's Miranda's office. That used to be Shepard's office in the first game. And that was, Dr. Chakwas' lab.
Commander, what can I do for you?
Anything I should know regarding the Normandy?
The crew's working well, and the ship appears to be performing to specifications.
What exactly are your duties aside from keeping an eye on me?
I'm the Elusive Man's agent. You're his most important asset. My job is to make sure you succeed. Aside from that, I send regular reports to the Elusive Man, updating our status.
Do you have a minute, Miranda?
No doubt you've got a lot of questions. Cerberus isn't as evil as most people believe. If I can help allay any of your concerns, I'd be happy to do so. So, what would you like to know?
Your organization is truly fucked when your intro line has to be, Cerberus isn't as evil as people believe. It's like, wow. Really inspires confidence you opened that way.
I know what we're doing here, but what's Cerberus' long-term goal?
The advancement of the human race. Nothing more, nothing less. The Solarians have the Special Tasks Group. The Asari have their legendary commandos for stealth and recon operations. Cerberus is humanity's answer to those organizations.
But those organizations are regulated by governments. Who keeps Cerberus in check?
Nobody. We're privately funded and our backers trust the Elusive Man to make the right decisions. But he's very clear about our goals. Protect humanity and serve its advancement.
Are you military or political? Or both?
Cerberus has several divisions. Political, military, scientific, but we're all working towards the same goal. The teams you encountered before your accident were mostly part of our military division. But not all Cerberus operations use the same protocols. We try not to get bogged down in bureaucracy or formality.
What kind of resources does Cerberus have?
We're very well funded, though I doubt anyone other than the Elusive Man knows exactly how well. But our resources aren't unlimited. Reviving you and rebuilding the Normandy was a significant investment, and a significant risk. We're all hoping you can do the impossible, Shepard. No pressure.
What can you tell me about the Elusive Man?
Not much that you don't already know. Even I don't have access to most of his background. And you've seen more of him than most ever do. It's rare for him to become directly involved in missions, but you're something special. Whatever else people might say about him, I can assure you he's got humanity's best interests at heart. That includes you and me.
How can you be sure of that if you know so little about him?
I didn't get to where I am without knowing how to gauge people's motives and ambitions, even from brief encounters. He's no saint, and he'd be the first to admit it. But he is committed. Humanity couldn't have a better advocate.
Tell me about yourself, Miranda.
Oh, I guess that's fair. I've spent the last 2 years learning everything there is to know about you. Well, you should probably know that I've had extensive genetic modification. Not my decision, but I make the most of it. It's one of the reasons the elusive man handpicked me. I'm very good at just about anything I choose to do.
What level of genetic modification are we talking about?
That's very thorough. Physically, I'm superior in many ways. I heal quickly, and I'll likely live half again as long as the average human. My biotic abilities are also very advanced. For a human. Add to that some of the best training and education money can buy, and, well, it's pretty impressive, really.
It sounds like you were designed to be perfect.
Maybe, but I'm not. I'm still human, Shepard. I make mistakes like everyone else. And when I do, the consequences are severe. Everyone expects a lot from someone with my abilities.
You certainly don't lack for confidence.
It's just a fact. My reflexes, my strength, even my looks, they're all designed to give me an edge. No point in hiding from it. It's the reason I'm trusted to oversee the most dangerous, risky, and technically demanding operations Cerberus undertakes. And it's why I was assigned to you. It's my job to make sure you succeed, Shepard.
Thanks for the information, Miranda. I'll talk to you later.
Of course, Commander. Whatever you need.
Yep, we have a crew member that's specifically designed to be a perfect human being. And that's not the best counterpoint to Cerberus, generally. That the person leading my team is, like, supposed to be the mega-human. Because then you get into creepy territory of, like, Nazism and the Ubermensch and all these other things. Although that may not be... But as was mentioned, Cerberus didn't make Miranda. Miranda existed before. We don't know why or how yet, but we know that Miranda was genetically modified, and then the elusive man found her and recruited her at quote-unquote a young age.
Commander Shepard, the hero of the Citadel, you did humanity proud that day. As Sergeant Rupert Gardner here. How can I be of service?
Do you have everything you need?
I make do. But have you ever tried to prepare a decent meal with military provisions? I'm good, but I'm no miracle worker. Taking down the collectors is going to be rough business. The crew deserves a few fine meals before they throw themselves into the fire.
What do you need?
If I had some quality ingredients... Oh, shit. You've got more to worry about than grocery shopping on the Citadel. Forget I mentioned it.
If I head that way, I'll keep an eye out.
Much appreciated. Most of this list is probably standard fare for those namby-pambies on the Citadel. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
What do you do here on the Normandy?
What don't I do? Most think of me as the ship's cook, but I'm also the facilities technician and custodian. HVAC, plumbing, non-mission critical electrical. I make sure they're all clean and running.
So the man cleaning the toilets is also preparing the meals?
I wash my hands. Most of the time. This ain't no luxury liner. You have to pull your own weight in a Cerberus vessel, and I catch what falls through the cracks. Through the cracks.
Jesus Christ. I wash my hands most of the time.
Do you have everything
Oh,
you
crap,
need?
sorry.
Happen to find any of those supplies?
I won't take any more.
I didn't mean to do that either. I made everything wrong. I did all the things wrong. Alright, here we go.
How do you feel about working for Cerberus?
Damn proud. Cerberus gets the job done. The Alliance and Council have got their heads buried so deep up their butt puckers they can't see squat. It'll take good old human ingenuity to crush these collector vermin. Only Cerberus knows that.
How did you find your way into Cerberus?
Can you believe I was once a family man, working the EZO rigs along the frontier? I was happy enough, but losing everything to Batarian raiders can change your outlook. I needed to make a difference. I'm no soldier, but I've got skills, and Cerberus keeps an eye out for talent. I'll do whatever it takes to help, be that plumbing a sewer, routing an air duct, or keeping everyone's bellies full.
I won't take any more of your time.
Back to work.
So who's over here in the medical facility? Dr. Chakwas. Kind of skipped past that, huh? They gave us a whole introduction about Joker being back, but Chakwas is gone. Chakwas is here, and he does not even mention of that until I come over here. Interestingly, So that's 2 crew members from the Normandy, I think, and that's it. I think nobody else is carrying over. S.O. Presley's not going to be back. He died. That's unfortunate. You don't actually remember S.O. Presley that much from the main game because she doesn't have that much dialogue or much to do generally, but his name gets burned into your brain because every time you get on and off the ship, it's like S.O. Presley has the deck. S.O. Presley stands relieved. So when you find out he's dead, you're like, no, not S.O. Presley.
What's this area of the ship?
The sickbay. It is equipped to provide short-term emergency care. In the event of critical injury, personnel must be transferred to a fully equipped medical facility.
Commander Shepard, I watched the Normandy crumble with you on board. It's good to see you alive.
Nice to see a familiar face, Doctor.
I feel the same. I wish more of the original crew could be here. The kind of trauma you endured would have changed most people. But not you, I see. Welcome back, Shepard.
Doctor, you've been with the Alliance for years. Why leave now?
After the Normandy was lost, the surviving crew was reassigned. I was stationed at the Mars Naval Medical Center, a very respectable position, but it wasn't on a starship.
Colonial military life isn't for you?
I've spent most of my life on warships, never knowing what the next mission might bring. I'm used to the hum of engines, the creaking of bulkheads, that subtle vertigo when the momentum dampeners kick in. Life planetside is just too static, too boring.
You're not the Cerberus type, Doctor.
I don't work for Cerberus. I work for you. On a mission that may be crucial to the survival of the human race. I have faith that your dealings with Cerberus will be ethical. I trust you, Commander.
There's a very good chance this mission will be a one-way trip. Are you prepared for that?
I've been through the reclaiming of Shanxi, the Skillian Blitz. We survived the Battle of the Citadel and the destruction of the Normandy together. I've lived a full life. No regrets. I'd like to make sure the crew gets the same opportunity.
Do you have everything you need?
I believe so. This medical bay seems very much like the sick bay on the original Normandy. Only thing missing are my private reserves. I even had a bottle of Ceres Ice brandy that I was saving for a special occasion.
I'll keep an eye out for a replacement bottle.
Oh, you needn't. It's expensive, and we have much larger concerns ahead.
I'll see you later, Doctor.
Commander.
Journal updated, find brandy. Oh, you needn't bother. There's much more concerning matters up ahead. When has it ever been a deterrent for Sigourney side quest Shepard?
Access to the AI core is restricted.
Oh. Well, fine. Also, I just decided what my middle name is, apparently. That's fine. We're just gonna keep it now. I like that BioWare has the attention to detail that they actually will come up with an explanation for why every party member is still around. Because a major change in the story happened. The Normandy was destroyed. Shepard's back on a new Normandy, but no longer working for the Alliance. Maybe no longer a Spectre? That's still up in the air, separated from all of their existing crew. So now there has to be a reason for everyone to come back. Anyone who doesn't come back to the ship, to the crew, has an explanation for why they didn't come back, because they don't want to work for Cerberus, perhaps, or they got their own thing going on. That makes sense. And then for people like Joker, of course Joker's gonna want to pilot the replacement Normandy of all things. He loves that ship. He worked so hard to get to where he is right now, and that this is like a recognition of his skills to be able to fly the most absurd cruiser in the entire human fleet. And then Chakwas, we talked to her last game. We know that she romanticizes her job. She wants to go on an adventure, even though she's the doctor that stays on the ship all the time. She wants to be on an adventure and lead a crazy life with a history. She takes pride in all the different conflicts and wars that she's had some impact on or been around during. And so it's not about prestige, and it's not about what the most successful job is going to be. It's about the adventure, and that's why she's here, despite everything. But she's only working for Cerberus because she's here for us, and she thinks that we'll do better. And that was a codex entry that I just waited next to because I thought something was going to happen when I hit A on it. What's the name of that door, by the way? port cargo hold. Is that also a locked door over here? Starboard cargo hold. So we have 2 cargo holds we can't access yet. Is this the actual core? Yep. Let's look at this up close. Hey, big guy. So you can't... So yeah, you can see the various portholes we saw through here. So like there's the crew deck right there, and there's the armory. Like there's actually a continuity of the space here where you can look up here and see all these different windows and know where each one is. At least if you have, at least if you actually open the rooms and can tell at this point. And then we've got Engineer Donnelly and Daniels.
You came all the way down here to see us?
You're speaking to our commanding officer.
I'm touring the ship, getting to know my crew.
I'm Engineer Ken Donnelly, handling the power control systems. This is Gabby.
That's Engineer Gabriella Daniels, actually. I'm responsible for the propulsion systems.
What can we do for you, Commander?
They love their Star Trek. Not only does the sequel game get a different version of the ship, like how Star Trek, almost every... Well, not all of them, but several different versions of Star Trek involve different ships that are all... They all have a saucer shape, and they're all called the quote-unquote Enterprise, but they're all different ships from different eras and built differently. And so we've got a replacement Normandy, and now we have a Scottish engineer down in engineering. And I'm sure that they'll be given it all that she's got, Captain.
Are you set up okay down here?
We can't complain. I just wish it didn't take so long to calibrate the FBA arrays.
Kenneth, you're complaining.
What kind of problems are you having?
When they upgraded the Normandy design, they got a bit sloppy with the FBA couplings. I won't bore you with the tech, but there's an array of attenuators in the primary power transfer system that channels the field bleed.
Kenneth, you're boring the commander with tech. In short, if we had T6 FBA couplings installed, it'd save us a lot of maintenance time each day.
Why isn't something like that already installed?
It's probably just a design oversight. Efficiency isn't affected, it's a maintenance issue.
Also, the T6 model can be hard to find. Nash and Stellar Dynamics discontinued them.
We could probably find used ones in the Omega markets, but we have no time for shore leave.
Where'd you receive your training?
Both Gabby and I started in the Alliance, serving on the SSV Perugia.
She flew in the first wave at the Battle of the Citadel. We saw Sovereign firsthand.
Why did you leave the Perugia?
After you died, Anderson lost political clout. The Council backslid on the Reaper menace.
They discounted Sovereign as an isolated threat, as a single...
Which was bullshit. They said your warnings of a greater danger were mistaken or delusional.
We lost respect for Alliance leadership. We need to fight the real enemy, and only Cerberus seemed to be doing that.
Yep, there's a line of dialogue that'll push more people towards Renegade sometimes. As now that's just another nail in the well, it's not a literal nail in the coffin, but it's a surprisingly literal figurative nail in the coffin in that we died, and once again the Council sold us out and ignored everything we said and even defamed us and all of our warnings after all the shit we go through over the course of the first game. Even after we die, they still can't listen to anything we say.
What do you think about Cerberus?
Actually, we don't know much about the organization other than the Normandy team. We know our mission and who's in charge.
We're off to kick the Collectors right in their daddy bags. That's enough for me.
How did you wind up with Cerberus, Ken?
Once you were gone, the Alliance brass descended like vultures, tearing apart everything you'd said. I was very public with my defense for you. I didn't hold back.
That's an understatement. If Kenneth wasn't such a talented engineer, they'd have court-martialed him for insubordination.
But it got me noticed by the elusive man. He made an offer, and here I am.
So why did you join, Gabby?
Kenneth and I have been partners in crime since we graduated from Tech Academy. When he got the Cerberus offer, I insisted that it include me. They'd fall apart without me.
Thanks, Mum.
Also, I love engines, and the Normandy is state-of-the-art. When I got the opportunity to work on her, I had to jump.
Carry on.
Will do, Commander.
We're actually picking up side quests before we've even set foot outside of the ship yet. They're talking about me arriving in the first place. And here's the very bottom of the Normandy. Don't think anything's down here at the moment. There's one bench, bed, cot thing, suspended cot, and a table, and that's it. Alright, head back on up. And true to form, everything's gray, blue, and red, because this game loves its blue and reds, although the blue is so much more subdued than it was previously.
What's this area of the ship?
Normandy's cargo deck. It includes facilities to rearm and repair Normandy's embarked ground vehicle and shuttle.
My last ship didn't need a shuttle. Why do we have one?
This ship is nearly twice the mass of the previous Normandy. It is more difficult to land the ship on high-gravity worlds.
So now we have a solution for the fact that the ship's huge. The previous Normandy would just swoop down through the atmosphere, which is really unusual to see a large ship do in any video game or sci-fi universe or anything. Now they're acknowledging that by giving me a shuttle to sort of hang a lampshade over the issue, I suppose. I'm curious about Daniels and Donnelly. I get the feeling that they might have started design as one character, and then they were like, what gender should it be? I don't know, both? And then they just made it 2 characters. Actually reminds me a little bit of a certain, well, basically the most prominent character duo in Bioshock Infinite in particular. The Luquettes? Never mind. I can't remember their name right now. It's not worth trying to remember right now. So here's a difference. We still have the same galaxy map as before, but now I physically am, like, it actually represents it as me driving around on the map, as opposed to just highlighting stuff with a reticle, which reinforces the idea that I'm actually traveling there on my own. There's the Omega-4 relay, just taunting me at the beginning of the game, apparently. Can we click on it safely? So this is like our final objective of the entire game, just sitting here at the beginning. The Omega-4 relay is surrounded by hazard beacons and automated warnings. Over the last 1,000 years, many ships have attempted to pass through it, but none have returned. The only ones to pass freely back and forth through the relay are the mysterious collectors. There are many theories why ships never return from Omega-4. Some say there is a black hole at the far end. Others, most of the impoverished underclass of Omega, believe that there is some form of earthly paradise. Most, however, simply think that the collectors capture or destroy those passing through the relay. It's a good idea. It might point. There's a few explanations. There's the ones that they just said, and it's very likely that, yeah, the collectors probably just guard whatever's on the other side and destroy anyone that comes through. Still can't help but wonder that maybe somebody could just immediately turn back if they wanted to. So I kind of wonder if maybe the other side of the relay it leads to is disabled, and maybe the collectors actively, maybe the collectors manually activate it whenever they want to come this way, and then they turn it back off, and then that blocks anybody else from ever being able to make the return trip. Anyway, we don't want to go there now. Although I'd press the wrong button to zoom out. Leave orbit. There we go. They inverted it! In the last game, X left the planet and B left the entirety of the galaxy map. So there's Omega, there's a fuel depot. I believe we need fuel depots in... Let's see, does it cost money? Yeah. So it costs money to refuel your ship, and I believe you specifically need fuel if you're going to leave the, yeah, you need fuel to leave the local system. So via the mass relay, I can arrive here, and you can travel between. Wow, there's a lot of coverage on the map here. So you can see a lot of the various characters we have access to here. I can go to the Citadel, talk to Anderson, and go after the Master Thief, recruit the Krogan, a bunch of other things. Starting off on Omega is just kind of a natural place to start because there's so much going on, and it's a pretty interesting location. But there's a few nice touches here. They give you a completion percentage for each location, and yeah, you can warp manually between these places. I think more of them unlock over time. But the change here is that if you leave the system, bam, you get all the other systems that are within this mass relays area, and if I fly towards them, it'll drain my fuel. So I need to be careful to be able to make a return trip, or hope that I'm arriving in a system that has a fuel depot. I don't remember if they all did or not. And it's important that they give me a percentage for completion of each of these places to help me save on trips, because I'm actually going to be needing to search systems for resources for a basic objective of the game as we go through it. Thankfully, you don't lose any resources going around within a system itself. But I could show you guys that in a moment here. Let's see. So here's the scanning system. This is what it looks like. So we drag this little bastard around on the screen now, and you try to get large spikes of resources, as you can see here. It's accompanied by a nice amount of vibration on the controller and stuff like that. You try to find high spots. That's probably not a terrible one. Then you launch a probe.
Probe launched. In research projects, iridium is used to upgrade heavy weapons, submachine guns, and assault rifles.
So your goal is to get more Element 0, iridium, platinum, and palladium in order to buy various upgrades for your ship. And you do that by doing exactly that. You can rotate the whole thing, and you just keep scanning and searching around for any good deposits. You don't get any directional information, at least not right off the bat, at least. But as you search, it just kind of changes the meter, and you kind of home in on it and get what you can.
Launching probe.
So this isn't
in research projects, platinum is used to upgrade sniper rifles, shotguns, and medical equipment.
There we go. So in the top right corner now says scanner results are poor. That means that overall I've diminished the resources of this planet significantly, and I'm unlikely to find a ton more. You can still find more, like here's some palladium already, but it's going to get worse and worse the more I find. So the previous game had me manually landing on systems over and over again. I had to manually land on a planet, cruise around in the Mako, really, really, really agonizingly slowly, bouncing off terrain and getting stuck and realizing I can't scale a mountain and having to go around it and crap like that. This is the replacement for that. Also, when you got to a metal deposit, you had to play Simon Says on it, which was also kind of miserable. So that's all gone. Instead, this is here. So no more traveling weird, seemingly auto-generated maps that are boring and lifeless and tedious. Instead, you do this. Something that's also technically kind of boring and lifeless and tedious, although streamlined and quicker, and it involves fewer loading screens, so at least there's that. But it's mostly a mindless minigame you do in the background. So if we visit a system for a... There we go again. If we visit a system for a story objective, and you suddenly see an episode later, that system suddenly says like 100% complete or something like that, it might be because I went ahead and scanned some systems and grabbed stuff off camera, because you guys have already basically seen the extent of this minigame, and if something new shows up, I'll show you the new mechanic as it pops in, but this is not generally worth showing. And so that'll probably be the last time you guys see it for a while, if ever. Let's go to Omega. That place is pretty cool. Omega. Built in the mined-out husk of a metallic asteroid, Omega has been a haven for criminals, terrorists, and malcontents for thousands of years. At times, the station has lain idle and abandoned for centuries, only to be reactivated by a new group of outlaws seeking a fresh start. The space station's original, elegant design has given way to haphazard expansion by scrabbling factions of every species. There is no central government or unifying authority on Omega, and nobody can recall a time there ever was one. 7.8 million people live here. Has an orbital period of 7 years, although it's like a space station, so it's kind of almost meaningless because it's not even a planet on its own right. Let's get in there. Suffice to say, when I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, I suddenly had an itch to play Mass Effect 2, because it heavily features a setting that looks a whole lot like Omega. So let's see what happens here. I could be wrong, but I think it made you put Disc 2 in. I think in the original Xbox version you had to put in Disc 2 when you went to Omega, which was weird, because I'm like, this is the beginning of the game, why am I putting Disc 2 in already? But Omega was just on Disc 2. But it's all installed on a hard drive right now on Xbox One, so I don't know what's going to happen here. Oh, seems like we may be skipping that. I don't think I'm misremembering it, so I think it's just A bit of a surprise. Let's see. So I can go further down ammo, or I can go further down pull for this character. This makes pull last longer, this makes the ammo do more damage, which is more appealing, because oftentimes when you activate pull, you're going to kill that guy while he's being... while they're vulnerable. And we'll upgrade Overload because it's our anti-shield attack. The question is, do I want to save for an upgrade or stick with where I am right now? It's probably not a bad idea to at least start with Defender, because it's my character's main status, passive effect. It affects my recharge times and so on and so forth. Look at that, it immediately gives you more Paragon and Renegade. That's so weird they have it affect that. And we can change our weapons again, but I already did that.
Welcome to Omega. You're new here, aren't you? I can always tell. Allow me to... Oh, hello, Mocklin. I was just...
Leave, Fargate, now.
Of course, Mocklin. Whatever she wants.
Blasted scavengers. Welcome to Omega, Shepard.
You know who I am?
Of course. We had you tagged the moment you entered the Terminus systems. You're not as subtle as you think. Arya wants to know what brings a dead Spectre to Omega. I suggest you go to Afterlife now and present yourself.
Cut the attitude. I'm not here to cause problems for Omega.
Things explode around you, Shepard. You can't blame Arya for keeping an eye on you. Afterlife, now.
I'm receiving quarantine warnings about the slums where Dr. Mordin Solus runs the clinic. Anticipate resistance at the transport station. I have also accessed messages between mercenary groups regarding plans to deal with the Archangel. There's a recruiting station at Afterlife that may have information on him.
Alright, we got 3 recruits to find. There's our little map. Nice new details. So we've foregone a bit of the previous game's blue outlines of rooms, and now suddenly we have like top-down like images of the locations, which is colorful but slightly less clear. A lot going on here already, though. Like, this is actually a pretty detailed area. I think it's actually this game's equivalent of the Citadel.
Please.
Shut it.
Well, you were surprisingly easy to find.
Please. You have to help me.
No one said you could talk, jackass.
You Zaid Masani?
Yeah, that's me. You must be Commander Shepard. Hey, we have a galaxy to save.
I assume you've been briefed?
I've done my homework. Cerberus sent me everything I needed to know.
My contacts told me we're picking up 1 man, not 2.
Batarian delinquent. Pissed off someone rich enough to hire me to go after him. And for my bring him in alive rates, even.
Please. I didn't do it.
I said shut it. Tried to lead me on a chase all over the systems. He should have known better. These people always run to Omega.
What's gonna happen to him?
I'm gonna turn him in for the bounty. Don't much care what happens after that.
What's your relationship with Cerberus?
Easy. Cerberus is paying me a lot of money to help you on your mission. That's the long and short.
Not many mercs would take a suicide mission for the pay.
Most mercs don't get an offer like the one Cerberus sent me. This mission doesn't sound like good business, but your elusive man can move a lot of credits.
Good to have you, Zaid. We have a lot to do.
That's what they tell me. I assume the elusive man told you about our arrangement.
What kind of arrangement?
Picked up a mission a little while back, just before I signed on with Cerberus. Thought you might be interested. You heard the name Vito Santiago? He's the head of the Blue Suns, runs the whole organization. Seems he recently captured an Eldfell Ashland refinery on Zoya and is using their workers for slave labor. The company wants it dealt with.
I'll make sure we get that done.
Good. Get it out of the way so we can concentrate on being big goddamn heroes. I better turn this thing in before it starts to stink. I'll be locked and loaded next time you're ready to get some killing done.
Well, talk about a character that's immediately several layers more. Let me check sound real quick. I'm not crazy. Dialogue is weirdly quiet. Why is this game weirdly quiet by default? Okay, that's better. That's better. I'm like, dialogue is weirdly quiet. There we go. Sorry. But that guy's immediately like tenfold more interesting and textured of a character than Jacob, Mr. Milquetoast. Well, there's Afterlife. Might as well just head straight in.
Come on, let me in.
Everyone wants in.
Ari's expecting me.
Annoyed. If she were expecting you, you'd be inside.
Yeah, can't argue with that. It seems that if they are expecting you, you do get inside. Because I got in, like, instantly. Okay, you all stood up when I walked in. That's creepy.
What are you looking at?
Don't you have something better to do than pick fights with people you don't know?
No, just the ones who get in my face.
You see my gun. Do you really want to do this?
Fine. You're off the hook. For now. See you around.
Well, that was hilariously pointless. Huh. Batarians are kind of pricks so far. I mean, well, at least we're establishing that they're all over the place now. In the first game, they were only in that one DLC where they tried to wipe out an entire human colony. But this is a bit different, because now we are out in the Terminus systems, we're out in the fringes of space much more so than before. So we're actually going to see races that aren't members of the Citadel races. This is the part of space that they were teasing the entire first game, really. Or at least on the fringe of it. Yeah, the Cerberus Ice Brandy. Okay. Interesting, it didn't list a price. I guess I just got it for free. Well, as far as liquid physics goes, they tried. Where was Anto? There you are.
You want to talk? Talk to Aria.
That's close enough.
Stand still.
If you're looking for weapons, you're not doing a very good job.
Can't be too careful with dead specters. That could be anyone wearing your face.
I was told you're the person to talk to if I have questions.
They're clean.
Depends on the questions.
You run Omega?
I am Omega. But you need more. Everyone needs more something, and they all come to me. I'm the boss, CEO, queen, if you're feeling dramatic. It doesn't matter. Omega has no titled ruler and only one rule. Don't fuck with Aria.
I like it. Easy to remember.
If you forget, someone will remind you.
And then I toss your sorry ass out the nearest airlock.
So,
What can I do for you?
So yeah, this game's definitely interested in being the evil alternate dimension of Mass Effect in a way, which is that instead of starting off in this beautiful, pristine citadel where everyone lives in harmony, we're like in that place, Cora's Den was like a weird cesspit in the corner of a beautiful place. Omega is Cora's Den. The entire place is Cora's Den. Everything's like Cora's Den. You'll have trouble finding the pretty, pristine part where the nice people are anywhere around here. And they're clearly trying to do parallels to the original setup, because we're in a big open world area of the game, and we immediately meet a mysterious Asari character that's clearly in power, that clearly influences people. But instead of the previous one, the consort, this mysterious figure that gives people nice words and pat on the back, we have Arya, or we have Don't Fuck with Arya.
I'm trying to track down Archangel.
You and half of Omega. You want him dead too?
Why is everyone after him?
He thinks he's fighting on the side of good. There is no good side to Omega. Everything he does pisses someone off. It's catching up to him.
I'm putting a team together. He's on my list.
Interesting. You're gonna make some enemies teaming up with Archangel. That's assuming you can get to him. He's in a bit of trouble right now.
What kind of trouble?
The local merc groups have joined forces to take him down. They've got him cornered, but it sounds like they're having trouble finishing him off. They've started hiring anybody with a gun to help them.
Sounds like that might be our ticket in.
They're using a private room for recruiting. Just over there. I'm sure they'll sign you up.
What can you tell me about Archangel?
Not as much as I'd like. He showed up here several months ago and started causing all sorts of problems. If you make your own laws, which everyone here does, he makes life difficult. He's reckless and idealistic, but he seems to know enough to stay clear of me.
Which merc groups are after Archangel?
Blue Suns, Eclipse, Blood Pack. They're Omega's major players. Unless they're at war, you'll never see them together. But one thing they hate more than each other is Archangel.
Do you hate Archangel?
I don't have time for hate, but I distrust them all equally. For now, I'm happy just to let them kill each other.
I appreciate the help.
See if you still feel that way when the mercs realize you're here to help him.
I'm looking for Morden Solus. Do you know where I can find him?
The Solarian doctor? Last I heard, he was trying to help plague victims in the quarantine zone. I always liked Morden. He's as likely to heal you as he is to shoot you.
What can you tell me about him?
Used to be part of the Solarian Special Tasks Group. He's brilliant and dangerous. Just don't get him talking. He never shuts up. If you really need to find him, take a shuttle to the quarantine zone. No guarantee they'll let you in, of course.
So you must know what's what on Omega.
Everything that's worth knowing. I don't usually give it out freely. Information is power. Mundane things you can find yourself. Take a walk in a back alley or buy one of the mercs a drink. Better yet, talk to the entertainers. They give great tours. Just don't waste my time.
Tell me how you got set up here.
That's as privileged as information gets. I have many friends and enemies I keep at varying distances. I don't count you among either. We'll see how useful you prove. Short answer, mind your own damn business.
One scan and we're straight to business. People are usually more concerned about who I am.
Your death was downplayed, but hardly what I call a secret. I had to make sure it was really you. You could have been anyone, anything. Whatever you need will come out on its own. I'm curious, but Omega doesn't really care about you.
Maybe I'll come back later.
Maybe I'll be here.
She was interesting, abrasive, as is fitting, and an obvious foil to various characters from the previous game. And they're trying to mess with what we think of Asari, because the previous game didn't have a lot of antagonists to Asari aside from Benezia, but Benezia was mind-controlled, so she doesn't exactly count. At least not the same ways. Hey! You're the crime lord lady we just took down in the previous game but didn't kill.
Commander Shepard? Is that you? I'd heard you were dead. I'm Helena Blake. We met a few years ago. I don't expect you'd remember. You removed 2 criminal warlords from power and persuaded me to retire. I'll never forget it.
And now you're on Omega. Once a criminal, always a criminal, eh?
Oh no, Commander. I retired. I know better than to go back on my word with you. You convinced me to turn my life around. I'm a social worker now, believe it or not.
What brings you to Omega?
What brings anyone to Omega? Opportunity, success, failure, all of the above. I find this place suits me. I can bring it a certain air of civility, I suppose.
Oh, whoops, kind of lost access to the straighten-up dialogue options.
And now you're on Omega.
Oh no, Commander. You convinced me to turn my life around.
That seems like a hopeless job in a place like this.
Quite the opposite, actually. This place needs it more than most. Doing the good work in a place like this requires that one understand how things truly work, which makes me uniquely qualified.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're keeping out of trouble.
Thank you. This is all to your credit, Commander.
I have to go.
Of course. You must have more important things to do.
There's a nice bit of follow-up there. We met her on the Citadel. She asked me to take down 2 rival leaders. I did. And then I told her, then when I arrived at her base, I'm like, also you. I'm taking care of you too. And instead of shooting everyone, I would like it if you guys would just, you know, leave and retire. And then she actually did. Probably because she knew that how much danger she was in, perhaps, because if she went against what I was saying, there was a good chance she was going to lose. There was 2 previous examples of people losing to me. Let's see, you can go down to lower afterlife over there. Interesting, so upper and lower afterlife are shown as 2 separate chunks. Then you can come back out the front. There's a transport depot on the bottom left. On the bottom right, there's a whole bunch of stores and the main apartments and the quarantine zone. Okay. So might as well check out more of Afterlife. We're already here.
A human colony called Freedom's progress has been attacked by unknown sources, marking yet another in the chronicle of the humans' failure to defend their own colonies.
So previously, we would go down elevators.
Ascension has completed its 20 colony victory cruise. Council members aboard thanked Human Alliance soldiers for their efforts in repelling Saren's invasion 2 years ago.
What a cute detail. The last game had elevators.
The memorial on Akuz is expected to open next year, once the area is declared safe for visitors. Admiral Stephen Hackett will preside.
It's gonna keep going. Okay. So the previous game had elevators that would give you news reports, but now they give you reports there on staircases between floors and stuff like that. And that was pretty funny that they're usually these nice, polite, alliance-sounding things, but then there was like, that was like a Batarian being like, ha, pitiful humans can't even defend their own outposts, ha ha ha.
Say something, Commander.
How much did I drink?
1 drink. That's all it takes. Racist Batarian bastard. Looks like you broke the first rule of Omega. Don't order a drink at Afterlife if you're human.
Humans aren't welcome at Afterlife?
It's just that one Batarian bartender. He's got a stick up his ass about a bunch of Batarians that died a while back. No one does a thing about it, though. Humans ain't exactly held in high regard around here.
That bartender tried to poison me?
Tried is the word. As far as I know, you're the first human to survive it. Me and my friend Jake went there to celebrate our new shipping business. He got real drunk, and an hour later he was puking blood.
Duly noted. Let's get back to work.
Be careful out there.
How anticlimactic of an ending would that have been? Where the hell did I just end up? Where am I right now? I got dumped out of Afterlife. Oh, no you don't. And we're surrounded by these things we've never seen before. They're freaky looking. They're like vampire aliens or something? They look like vampire bats. Or the concept thereof. Oh, he's been dumped here too, so that's just a thing that happens. So this is a thing that gets touched on more and more over the course of the series, which is that different aliens can only eat certain types of things and drink certain types of things. And so certain foods and drinks for one race can be poisonous to other ones. Which makes perfect sense, more or less. But it creates problems when you're having a multi-person bar where all these different races combined, where somebody might start poisoning people and just sort of pretending they didn't know that was going to happen. Can I talk to anyone around here? Is that a Quarian? Is that a Quarian? No, it's a Batarian. It's just hard to make out their faces. These guys aren't vocal around here. Nobody throws me out of Afterlife. I'm gonna fuck you up. Oh, that's a human. No, it's Forvin.
Do I know you? No, the humans all look the same. Here, have a drink on the house. What? You drank? You shouldn't get. Wait, you don't want me to.
Now, drink it.
No, you can't.
Drink it, or I'll blind you one eye at a time.
I didn't tell Arya, but I may have a similar rule. Don't fuck with Shepard. I'm gonna dance now. She tries, I suppose. Weirdly, you can't rotate the camera right now. You think that'd be the time you'd want to rotate the camera. Holy shit, is it cathartic to kill that bartender, though. It literally gave him a taste of his own medicine. Hard to say it's not deserved in that context. There are so many Batarians here. They went from being a race you never see to being a race that's absolutely everywhere. They're probably a relatively plentiful species. Interesting. This guy's named Ogren. He has a name, which means he's probably going to come up at some point, but apparently not yet. Huh. I wonder if he's related to the poisoning quest, or if he can only come up later. We'll see if there's a quest for him at some point.
Don't send Batarians. Buyer's a human. You can't use Batarians to shake more money on the humans. Too much bad blood. Someone always gets gutted. Send one of your Solarians instead. It's safer. No, you said he had close family. They'll just want revenge. Kill the family first. Then he'll get angry and come at you stupid. And then you kill him. I don't think I know you, human. I'm the Patriarch. Arya's Patriarch. What do you want?
What do you know about Arya?
A few centuries ago, Omega was my rock. When Arya arrived, she had nothing but the clothes on her back. I thought she was another dancer. She killed half my men and convinced the rest that she could run this place better than I did. She came for me here in this bar. We tore this place apart. She crushed one of my hearts, shattered half the bones in my body, and left me alive.
What made her decide to leave you alive?
No, she doesn't destroy what she can use. She said I could have all my old comforts if I served as her advisor. I knew how things worked. I knew who to lean on, who to smack down, who to smile at. And everyone who respected me saw me beaten, broken. They knew that as strong as I'd been, she was stronger.
A Krogan as old as you must have some great stories.
I killed a lot of people, lived well, and was beaten by a small Asari who keeps me around as an example. My time is done. Anyone killed is long forgotten. The stories are Aria's now.
Why do they call you Patriarch?
It's like an Asari matriarch, only male. It was Aria's little joke. After she took me down, she let me live. Kept me around as an advisor and a trophy.
I should be going.
So I want to point out, that's Jim Cummings. Like, one of the most freaking prolific voice actors in the world, more or less. That's an IMDb that's an IMDb page you can scroll down for a very goddamn long time. I don't know if he has the biggest roles necessarily, but he's just in everything. Oh, he's Scar. He's Scar in Lion King. Sorry, I had to glance at that for a brief second there because I'm like, no, I know his voice from something. He's Scar from the Lion King, in addition to being in what are probably hundreds of roles.
For Omega's public enemy #1, and this time there is no escape.
No, I'm sorry. He's actually Ed in the Lion King. He was Scar in Lion King 2. That's a weird recasting going on there. The important thing is that he's been like hundreds of roles. So if his voice sounded familiar, it's because you've heard his voice before, even if you don't always recognize what he's doing in each role.
I hear you're recruiting.
Why don't you step inside? You'll get paid when the job's done, just like everyone else. Who's next? Well, aren't you sweet? You're in the wrong place, honey. Strippers' quarters are that way.
Show me yours, tough guy. I bet mine's bigger.
Impressive. So, you're here to fight then?
Sure, if this is the place to go after Archangel.
This is the place. Standard fee is 500 credits each. You get paid when the job's done. If you die, your friends don't collect your share. You'll need your own weapons and armor. Looks like you got that covered. And no, this does not make you a member of the Blue Suns, Eclipse, or the Blood Pack. You are a freelancer, period. Any questions?
So whoever this Archangel is apparently some sort of crazy badass. If on top of having 3 gangs after him, those gangs are just having like recruiting kiosks at a club where anybody can sign up to try to go kill Archangel. They're just throwing bodies at this guy, and they're going after desperate people too. Because 500 credits. I don't know what the economy is supposed to feel like in this game, but last game I had I had like 9 million credits. So the idea that somebody would risk their lives for 500 means that it seems like they're kind of throwing chump change around for very lethal scenarios, but they just want bodies.
Where's the attack taking place?
Archangel's base of operations. He's been hiding right under our noses. I can't tell you exactly where you're going, but we'll get you there.
Why are the mercs working together to take down Archangel?
You haven't been on Omega long, huh? He does everything he can to screw with us. Shipments go missing. Operations are compromised. Every month it gets worse. Tarek and the other bosses are tired of losing credits. And men.
Is he a heavy hitter? How many merc bosses are involved in this attack?
Yeah, Tarek runs the Blue Suns, but all 3 bosses are overseeing the operation. Jarrett's leading the Eclipse and Garm's the head of the Blood Pack. Tarek's in charge, but the others would never say that. I'm surprised they're in on this at all, but I guess getting rid of Archangel is worth it.
What do we do once we're there? How do we get to Archangel?
The mercs will tell you when you get there. Last I heard, they were putting the freelancers into scouting groups. They attack in waves to distract Archangel while we try to get past his defenses.
So we're just fodder for his bullets?
If you don't like it, don't sign up. But if you do your job right, it's easy credits. Besides, what are the odds he can kill all of you?
Jesus Christ. It's a hell of a gamble for your life. Yeah, just take up some money. All you gotta do is distract a sniper.
Seems like a lot of trouble for just one guy.
You had a whole team, but we've dealt with them. Now he's just one guy. But he's got the advantage. It's his base of operations and he knows we're coming. He's planned for an attack like this. We've lost a lot of men trying to get to him already.
It's gonna be tough to get to him.
Like chasing a Vorch out of the sewer pipes. But that's why we're recruiting. If we just keep throwing fighters at them, we'll get them eventually.
Where do we go?
Just head over to the transport depot outside the club. One of our boys will take you from there. Send in the next one.
Hey, is this where I sign up?
You look a little young to be freelancing as a merc.
I'm old enough. I grew up on Omega. I know how to use a gun.
So does Archangel.
I can handle myself. Besides, I just spent 50 credits on this pistol and I want to use it.
Get your money back.
Hey, what are you...
Trust me, kid. You'll thank me later.
Jesus. We don't have a lot of context for what stuff's gonna cost necessarily throughout the franchise, but freaking a 50 credit pistol sure sounds like something that's not gonna work. He probably doesn't know how to handle a pistol, but if he's buying a pistol for 50 credits, it's like it's probably just gonna blow up in his hands. We probably just saved his life. We're probably saving the life of anybody we stop from going on this trip, though, because it sounds like a intentional suicide mission, aka the dumbest kind of suicide mission. Although I just got finished warning my entire crew about how our own mission may be a suicide mission. Although I guess we actually are doing it for a reason, as opposed to trying to win 500 credits on having terrible ideas. I haven't saved for a long time. Let's just do that real quick. That's so satisfying, by the way. After finishing Mass Effect 1, having Mass Effect 2 just be like, oh, hit save, boop, it just saved instantly, done. That's pretty cool. So it's gonna, is that right? It never stops telling you you have a squad point to spend if you don't spend it. But I kind of want to save it up and spend it on Defender, so I'm just gonna have to ignore the fact that it's glowing forever.
I'm on the mission.
I hope you're ready. Archangel's been annihilating you freelancers.
Ready when you are.
Get in.